since, but it's back. Playoff football in the Bay Area here at Levi's Stadium in Santa Clara. Coming up, it's a battle to represent the NFC in this year's Super Bowl, and we've got a classic in store between the Dallas Cowboys and the San Francisco 49ers. From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And he returns this to the 22. Right out of the gates, Lance going to the air. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. He's got a man, complete. Touchdown, 49ers. A big play there. 78 yards. And the 49ers have struck first in this NFC title game. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. The extra point splits the uprights, and it's now a 7-0 game. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This fielded right at the goal line. Oh, good return up past the 30. And able to break this out all the way to the 38-yard line. Great return. So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their 38. They'll run with Pollard to begin the drive. And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
They go back to Pollard on 2nd down. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down.
Now that's the way to do it. Hand it to someone with vision and good footwork, and add in a little bit of power, and you find a way to pick up 1st downs.
A gain of 3, 2nd down. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. They'll bring a receiver in motion right. On 2nd and 7, Prescott. He's got a man. That's caught. Left sideline. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. They'll go with Pollard here on 1st down. And not able to break away this time as they're going to stop him right around the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. They'll send a receiver in motion to the left. On 2nd and 12, Prescott. Looking left side, it's complete. He's got it. And he's going to be taken down right at the 10-yard line.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
But that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Going to run again here with Pollard. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive.
But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
There they'll be in search of 6 yards here on 3rd down. This is now the 9th play of the drive.
So they accept the penalty, of course, and push the offense backwards a bit.
After the delay, they're backed up even further for 3rd and long. Prescott being chased out left. And he'll just get rid of it.
I think that was a good job there defensively. They did allow him to drive all the way downfield, but once they got their backs to the goal line, they really turned up the pressure.
Yeah, they let him get all the way down here. The field shrinks. They've struggled to convert, and that last incompletion brings up 4th. The kick by Maher is good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3.
So both teams come away with points on their opening drives. Now they still trail. They answered the touchdown with a field goal, but at least able to break that goose egg here early.
And that is what's important, right? Because they didn't let that initial touchdown go unanswered. Took the ball themselves, moved it downfield, and put it through the post for 3 points. Game on.
The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive.
Well, partner, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that one.
So the pitch and catch good for 11. And that's going to make it 3rd down and less than a yard.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
They'll try and run for it. This is Juszczyk. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
On play action, Lance.
This one into the hands of Kittle, the tight end.
And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line.
So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
So from Cowboy territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 47. Up the middle they go with McAllister. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
Second and 10 at the Cowboys' 47-yard line.
Lance looking to throw it.
Completes it to the tight end, Kittle. And he's going to have another 1st down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys' 30. 17 yards on the pickup there. The drive will continue. Had the offense humming on the first drive. Not much has changed here on drive number 2.
No, and I think a lot of times confidence just really kicks in for a team. They may have been confident going into the game, but once you prove it on a drive, it's hard to get out of that mindset, isn't it? And look, let's face it, we can always lock in on the skill position, guys. But those big fellas up front, they're really making this offense go early in the game.
It'll buy some time right. And a diving effort, but only right at the line of scrimmage. 15 yards down to the 15 and a 1st down. After one, 7-3 the score on EA Sports. Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. Running right, here's McAllister. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage. And no more.
Micah Parsons, the linebacker, in on the tackle.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Off of play action, here's Lance. Escaping the pressure right. And he just chucked that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field. It brings up 3rd down.
Excellent recognition that none of his receivers were beating coverage and getting open, so he just threw that one away. They'll come back to the huddle, reset, and try something different.
An incomplete pass on 2nd down. That muddles things a little bit here. This is 3rd and 10. Yeah, that one's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
That's not the first time they've gone his way on this drive, and they were obviously keyed into him because they were there to help break that pass up.
And his kick is good. And they push the lead up to a touchdown now at 10-3.
So a nice kick there as they add 3 to the lead.
And from what I've seen so far, Brandon, I think they've been the better of the two teams here in the first half. So even though you want the touchdown, I think that's a nice job there to put 3 points on the board.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
Fielded just outside the goal line. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. Just a lone field goal for them so far, trailing 10-3 as they come up 1st and 10. Buying time to his left. Nothing open downfield, so he'll throw it away.
Oh, I saw this one with defensive eyes because even as he escaped the pocket and bought time, the coverage stayed tight. Nothing broke down. Throwing it away, that was his only option.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Here's Prescott. Got a man, complete. And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds. They give him a gain of 37.
That's a well-thrown ball right there. This is where arm strength pays off because he's got to be able to get the ball both downfield and to the sideline. And that's one of the more difficult throws for a quarterback, and he put it right where it needed to be.
And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
And they'll send the slot in motion left. From the 38, Prescott. And he gets us down inside the 35 before going out of bounds. He'll end up getting 5 out of that, but now they're looking at 3rd down. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. Trying to run for it with Pollard. And he's able to get the first here as he's taken down at the 25. A strong 8 yards will keep this drive rolling.
Yeah, once more, strong running, excellent blocking at the point of attack. They've got a nice little drive brewing right here.
They had to settle for 3 last drive, hoping this second go-around ends in 6. in good position, 1st and 10.
They'll try to throw now. Prescott. Looking left sideline, it's complete. And he'll head out of bounds inside the 10. Mark it down at the 9. Mark that as a gain of 16 to set him up 1st and goal.
Now how about this throw right here? Had to throw it to the left sideline, and you know the timing's got to be correct on this one. Ball's got to be right where it needs to be, and it was. That's because he had great arm strength on that one, able to drive the football. Quarterbacks love it when they can show off their arms.
They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
I think what we just saw their partner was linebacking speed that can trump O-line power. We see that at times because he filled the gap before the offensive lineman could get to the next level and take him on.
Another shot from the 9 on 2nd and goal. Here's Pollard again. And he will fight his way into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Tony Pollard, a 9-yard touchdown run.
And the Cowboys are an extra point away from evening this one up.
Extra point by Marr, up and good. And we are even at 10 apiece. All level now at 10 apiece as the kick's away. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I've never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you've met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
Steps away. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
Play action. Now it's Lance.
And he'll be touched down here, but not before he does pick up the first. 9 yards that time.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Here we go. Here we go. Blue.
On 1st and 10, here's Lance.
Complete to the tight end, Kittle, over the middle of the field.
And they're able to work this across midfield to the 48.
For a tight end, he's got good straight line speed, and on that route, he's often the guy that gets overlooked. Nice job there finding him in stride for really good yardage.
So from Cowboy territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line.
The Lance going to throw.
Got a man, and he hits him in stride.
He's got room at the 30.
And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. 25 yards there on the catch and run.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
Let's go. Ready. 45. Right. Here we go, dude. Here we go. Flight blue.
Lance looks to throw again.
Throw, and I think the ball's out, but this will fortunately wind up out of bounds. Thankfully for the offense, a fortuitous bounce there on the fumble goes out of bounds because they're down here in the red zone. You don't want to lose one there.
You don't want to lose one, and the best part, because it went out of bounds, they retain possession, still have an opportunity to put points on the board.
Check. 10 cycles. Needle blue. Ready, go.
Now a play fake. Lance.
And he's got his man in stride, complete. And he takes it inside the 10 to the 8 before he's out of bounds. They'll run up the middle with McAllister. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. So they've been in the red zone 3 times, and it's yielded just 3 points. Can they find the end zone here on 2nd and goal? And he gets halfway there from the 6 to the 3 on a gain of 3. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down is a time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it.
And he'll take this into the end zone for a San Francisco touchdown. Kyle Juszczyk, a 3-yard touchdown run. And the 49ers have taken the lead. Extra point right down the middle. And that makes it a 17-10 score. The 49ers ready to kick it away, and here we go. This one fielded at the 5. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense.
And Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, and this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice.
He's got a man complete. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. A gain of 37.
And in the run-up to this championship game, so much was made about how would this offense hold up on the road in a hostile environment. Well, that's not the definitive answer, but what a great first answer from them, that big play right there.
Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know you're trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
And this throw incomplete. And the defender all over him that time, and it's going to lead to 3rd down.
And I think they'd be well served to take that type of a physical approach against him the rest of the game. He's had his way so far, but on that last one, that worked quite well for the defense.
On 3rd down, it's Prescott. Going down the middle, and it's complete. Touchdown, Cowboys. A great play there. 34 yards.
And the Cowboys are an extra point away from tying the ball game here in the final minute of the 1st half.
Extra point by Marr, up and good. And that is going to tie our game as we approach halftime. 17-17 the score. All even to this point as the kick's away.
And he won't quite make it to the 25.
The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. And with time quickly fading here in the 2nd quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
And now the Niners going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout, as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the 1st half.
They fake the handoff. Now Lance.
They'll roll him out right. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a 1st down.
Partner, the good ones have a clock running in their head, okay? Because it says something like this. I've got this many seconds to find a target. After that, I have to tuck it and try and get some yardage on this 1st down snap. He doesn't just get some yards, though. He gets a big gain, and they'll come right back with another 1st and 10.
Oh, that's into double coverage and intercepted. Picked off by Trayvon Diggs. And the Cowboys are going to have it here as they'll start at their own 24-yard line. Well, Charles, so close to halftime there. You throw the interception. Not only that, you do give it to them in plus territory as well.
Yeah, they were pushing real hard to try and get something more on the board on their side of the ledger right before the half. Looking at it with 20/20 hindsight, though, might have been better to hand it off a few times, hoping to get something to break instead of putting the ball in the air and, of course, putting the ball in jeopardy.
And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. And it's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of this first half of play. So we've reached halftime here in the NFC Championship as we send you cross-country to Orlando. Jonathan Coachman is there and has our EA Sports halftime report. The Hallis Trophy still hangs in the balance as the second half now underway in the NFC Championship game. Takes it at the 7. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And, CD, we are in for a very intriguing second half. This is what we wanted, all tied. This is what postseason football is all about.
It certainly is. And doesn't it speak to the parity in the NFL? Roughly half the teams that made the playoffs the year before miss the next year, get replaced. We know it's an any given Sunday mentality. Nothing's easy in the playoffs, but when you have your shot, they're eager to seize it.
Quickly out wide, this is Watson.
And he's upended at the 33, following a good pickup of 8.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
On third down, it's Pollard. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage.
49 yards rushing for him now as he's carried it 13 times.
Well, after an interception, last thing you want to do is go 3 and out, give the ball right back. They avoided that.
Yeah, you definitely do not want to do that. I remember in college I played with a really big-time player on defense. We ended up getting an interception as we passed the offense coming out. He told him, if you don't take care of this football, you have to answer to me later. You definitely take care of it and pick up first downs.
Prescott off play action. Dancing to his left. And he's left with no option here but to throw it away.
Well, sometimes the defense just beats you. Great coverage from the secondary, all of them in the proper position. So instead of trying to throw into tight coverage, he found a way to throw it away and come back and try again the next down.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on second down. Here's Prescott.
He'll fire deep downfield for Lamb.
And he fires one that's intercepted.
And the 49ers are going to take possession of the football.
So an opening drive interception to begin this second half.
And just think about the time you spent in the locker room going over what you expected to do in the second half. Not the way they saw it, not the way they drew it up. You find out this is something that you can't just edit, right? There's no rewrite here. This is live, and now they've got to find a way out of this hole.
He'll rifle this one deep right side. Got a man, it's caught at the 6-yard line. A big play there for the Niners. 47 yards. After the big play, a chance to finish now on 1st and goal.
Lance going to sneak it.
And nowhere to run on the interior of that defensive line. He'll get back only to the line of scrimmage. On 2nd and goal, Lance. That is caught by the tight end, Kittle. Touchdown, 49ers. A great effort effort there. There to make the grab. And the Niners take the interception on defense and convert it into 6 points. Point after, right down the middle. And they will take a 7-point lead. The 49ers ready to kick it away. And here we go. Taken in at the 3. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And we'll see if they can bounce back from that last drive in particular, if they can bounce back at the quarterback position, Charles, after throwing their first interception of the ball game.
Yeah, some guys, you know they're going to want to try and get a big play right away and take control back. Others, they're going to look to hit a couple shorter passes and get a little momentum back that way.
But for the defense, that goal's not changing a bit. They want another pick.
You're exactly right about that. In fact, you've got to watch them a little bit because in coverage, they may cut down their gaps a little bit, maybe their splits a little bit in order to try and get to the ball even faster. Oh, that's good decision-making right there. Understood down and distance, knew it wasn't third down, and he still had another opportunity to earn the first down. Good job throwing it away and avoiding an interception.
After an incomplete pass on second down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Looking to throw, Prescott. And this pass broken up. The contact well timed there, and now 4th down. Here's Brian Anger now. And surprisingly, this is the first punt of the game for either team. He gets this away. It's a good one. Drawing toward the sidelines. And this is going to be ruled out, I think, just inside the 20. Yes, it will. Side judge calls it at the 19-yard line. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. The football changing hands here, and as this offense takes the field, Charles, they'd be fine with more of the same on this upcoming drive. Last time out, they found the end zone for 6.
And they're certainly hoping for more of the same, but the game plan, I doubt it'll just be a carbon copy of the last drive because I think this offense is ready to break out some new wrinkles and try some new things that might be hidden in their playbook. They want to use that confidence to its advantage while also keeping the defense from anticipating what's up next.
From the 24, Lance. Throw left side is complete on the diving effort. 15 for the Niners there and a first down.
A Hall of Fame coach once said there are no medals for trying. And that wasn't a trying effort, was it? That was a winning effort. How about that great catch?
Excellent. They know, hey, you lose this game, you get a ding or two. You got 7 months to heal. They're going to go all out.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
A good gain on first has him set up with second and just a couple of inches now from the 29. A handoff to McAllister, and he'll get it out to midfield. Let's spot it right at midfield at the 50. 2 yards, good enough for a first. On the give, McAllister with it. And good penetration here. He'll get this down only to about the 49-yard line. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. They run with Deuce McAllister. And down to the 44, 5 yards that time.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
Here's the 7th play of this drive. This is 3rd and 4. Here's Lance to throw it. And the Cowboys' pressure gets there this time for the sack. It's a loss of 10 on the sack, and it leads to 4th.
Okay, I'm not sure you could actually draw up a better pass rush than that one right there. Nowhere to go outside. He had to keep backing up and backing up and backing up. Eventually dropped for a huge loss.
And this will be touchdown inside the 20. They'll spot it at the 18-yard line. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is, can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. One quarter remains for the right to go on to the Super Bowl. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Play fake. Here's Prescott. This is caught. It's Christian Watson finding room at midfield. And he'll be taken down here just shy of the 30.
That's a real nice job right there, working the middle of the field, working against those safeties. And you know, if you get your hips turned the wrong way, big plays can result.
And a big play resulted right there. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Play action now. Prescott. To Lamb, he pulls it in. What a catch. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. They run straight ahead here with Pollard. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 10-yard line. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down.
There's no question that coming into this game, this defense was pretty vocal about his desire to take this running back out of his game. And all that pregame wolfing has turned into results.
Moved back to the 10. They'll try on 2nd and goal here. From the shotgun, it's Prescott. Touchdown! CeeDee Lamb from 10 yards out. And the Cowboys are an extra point away from tying this game here in the 4th. Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good. And an important one that is, as we are all tied now early in this 4th quarter. Nothing separating these two sides. 24 all our score as he sends this one away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. And this one likely on the short list for Game of the Year candidates. And boy, did it come in a good one here in the playoffs. All tied in the 4th with a berth to the Super Bowl on the line. Buckle up, everybody. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Another run with McAllister. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3.
You know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. The offense on third down tonight, they've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3. And he's got a first down as he's up to the 48. 4 yards on the pickup, good enough to extend the drive. 2 first downs have him up near midfield now on 1st and 10. And now the ball's out, fumbled near midfield. It's picked up by the Cowboys. And his guys are going to get the football at their own 47-yard line.
Well, so much for the 4-minute offense. They were trying to reduce the clock, get in position to win the game, and leave no time for them to come back and catch them. And guess what? They turned the ball over. Yeah, I mean, they had it all set up for themselves, and they let it get away.
So the drive's going to start with Pollard. And he's got this one across midfield into 49er territory.
56 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
From just shy of midfield, Prescott. And the Niners get there and bring him down. Credit the sack to Fred Warner.
Now that was a passer's nightmare. The front door totally shut down by the defense, so he kept going backwards, hoping to find another avenue of escape. It didn't exist.
Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long. Prescott from the gun. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked by Tarvarius Moore. And the Niners are going to take possession of the football.
Well, we say it often, Charles, but not all interceptions are created equally, and that is a big one here in the tie ball game in the 4th quarter.
And, Brandon, when games are this close, it usually comes down to the team making the fewest mistakes, and that was one of our mantras back at Tennessee. Coach Major used to say all the time, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. You've got to cut those down to give yourself an opportunity.
Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
His carries tonight, they're getting up there, so maybe one of those every now and then is understandable.
I would agree with that. Understandable every now and then. Sometimes you come back and you fake it to him and go play action. But other times you say, okay, they got him on that one. We'll come back to him in another carry.
And once again, not much running room, if any at all. A field goal from this spot likely out of the question. They've got to get closer here on 3rd down. Rolling to his right. And he'll protect himself at the end here as he winds up getting pretty decent yardage. Decent gain on the scramble to 6, but now it's 4th.
Thanks to his effort, they now have a big choice to make here. He just ran them into field goal range with that one, so here come the choices. Do they kick it here, or do they trust him to make another big play and possibly get a first down?
Getting down to the good stuff, all tied with 2 minutes remaining on EA Sports.
Down, snap, red, 33, yellow.
Hey, number 28, look, he's coming, check in.
Strike it. Mega.
Lance and company going on 4th down.
Steps away to his left. Now he'll turn and throw deep back to the other side of the field. And he hauls it in the end zone. Touchdown, San Francisco. A great play there. His 2nd touchdown of the night. And the 49ers have broken this deadlock and have taken the lead here in the 4th. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
From the 6.
And he's able to get it across the 20 to the 25-yard line. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense.
Here comes another drive from this unit, and Charles, they're coming off a costly mistake on the last possession, an interception in a game that is very close right now.
Well, as we know, they all sting no matter what the situation, but in a one-possession game, that'll hurt a little bit more. But this is an excellent opportunity to make up for it on this drive. I just don't expect them to try and take huge gambles to make up that momentum in a hurry.
Second and 6, just inside the 30. They'll send a receiver in motion left. To throw, Prescott. Toward the right sideline, but it's incomplete. I see you nodding your head up and down. That's a very heady decision at this stage of the game. Out of the pocket, nowhere to go. Just get rid of it.
That's a smart play because you're not worried about your completion percentage, and you're also not trying to force it into bad traffic as well. Throw the ball away, live to fight another down.
So after the second down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Prescott. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And unable to connect. Incomplete. Now give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
Partner, they've got one chance left to keep this one going. And I think for you and me, let's think along with their offensive coordinator now. Has to think back, cycle through every play of this contest, and remember what's worked and what hasn't. Because right here, he needs the best play of the game in order to keep this one alive.
And the slot man goes in motion left. Desperation time. Prescott on 4th. Oh, that's going to be a costly one. It's intercepted. And the 49ers are going to take possession of the football. A 4th down, they felt compelled to go for it, and he throws the INT.
Yeah, he knows that you can't take a sack there, so he had to try and force one in. Now, this might not be a throw he makes if we're in the second quarter, but he had to take the chance there, and this one wound up being intercepted.
And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's 2nd down. That one looks like he'll throw here. The tight end Kittle has it on the left side. And he's brought down here just outside of the 20.
But when you hit him on the move like that, and he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam, oh boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down. He'll drop it off to McAllister as running back. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. 11 more on that one, and another 1st down. Now Lance. That's to the right side, complete to Kittle. And he's across for the late touchdown. And in the final seconds, that one should just about put a capper on this game. Now the try here for the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. The 49ers ready to kick it away, and here we go. And they'll let that one go as it skips through the back of the end zone for a touchback. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. What do you do here down like this in this situation? Do you maybe just pick something out of the playbook you haven't called in a while? And this is intercepted, and that should do it. And the Niners are going to take possession here at their own 33. Well, it wasn't always pretty, but the interception there, that means that they should get out of here with a victory.
Yeah, this is not a game that they're going to preserve for posterity on defense. But they did finish it off, didn't they? They did make the winning play.
And he will go down. A Cowboys sack. And what a ride it has been. NFC champs, they have punched their ticket to the biggest show in sports.
And what a way to get there, to go the entire season and then play for the right to go to the Super Bowl and the right to call themselves NFC champs. Elation has to abound.
And that will do it for this one. For Charles Davis, myself, and the entire crew, we'll see you in 2 weeks at the Super Bowl.